tassa arahato samma sambuddhassa. Shall we? Good afternoon. My one and only time, good afternoon to you, okay? In future, we just go straight into the business of the day. Okay, welcome everyone to BF. Most of you have been here before. I don't know why there are so many repeat students. You're having too much fun, huh? Come. Yes, you're new. Who else is new? Just show of hands. No, you're not new. Oh, for DFC2 it's new. Okay, you're new, totally new. It's new, great, right? Don't worry about you're new. You new, man? Oh, for DFC you're new. Okay. Okay. Eileen, any other point you want to make? Okay, first and foremost, okay, I'm Sylvia. I'm very informal, which means I want you, when you come here, to enjoy yourself. You don't get all tense up in Dhamma learning, okay? When you are learning something, you must enjoy the process. That will help with you remembering, okay? There are two things that will help people remember things. One, two types of feelings. One, extreme pain. Two, extreme joy or strong joy. I surely don't want you to have extreme pain here. So must be joy. Otherwise, it's going to be like, and when this happens, when you're neutral feeling, nothing's working. Not even the memory. It's like, oh yeah, how was class? Okay. That's going to be the answer. Okay? So we're going to enjoy ourselves. I know that they put the cushions in such a way that it's like a line. You don't have to. In this class, I want you to flow, to be relaxed. There will be many moments of engagements. So I can guarantee the cushions will not be where they are now. Eventually, they will kind of flow all over the place, which is a good thing, okay? DFC2. First, let me introduce this. Icebreaker. I want you all to find a couple of friends left and right. I don't care where they are. Just find a couple of friends, do a bit of ice breaking, meaning to say, introduce yourself and why are you here? I don't want you to tell each other about, wow, last night the show very nice. I don't want that, okay? Why are you here? Then if you already know someone, don't talk to that fella, find someone else. Okay? You don't talk to each other, go find someone else, okay? Let's do 5 minutes of that, just a quick one. Online also, they can talk to each other, I really don't mind. 5 minutes, just say hi, who am I? Because there's going to be a lot of engagement in this class. Engagement. This is your chance to find your speaking partners. Okay, go. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
How to go? Why like this? Twinkly queen.
rather than the artificial. Face the front, face the front. We're going to start. 27 slides. You want to finish at 5, right? Oh, okay. Okay, now I'm going to explain a little about how we are approaching DFC2. What has changed? So for those of you who came for last year's, who were here last year, the number of classes has almost doubled. Last year we had 9 classes. You strip away all the meditation, it's 9 classes of lectures. Today, this year is 14. 14 is because I dropped dependent origination. And then you say, why you drop? You don't understand Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, you want to go for DO. That's DFC3. If DFC3 comes about, because you actually don't need DO for enlightenment, meaning awaken to what the Dhamma is all about. We don't need that. We don't need that to come into your consciousness and make you get a little tied up in knots. We need to get the big ones done first. Okay? I dropped meditation as a separate module because I know Beng Hok continues to run Anapanasati meditation classes. If you want to, you can sign up with him on your own, at your own pace and time. Retreat may or may not be on. It can be on if you all vote for it, because it takes time. It takes a lot of commitment and effort, and we need to borrow BF's ground. So it has to be work into BBF's timing, okay? But it can be on. I'm not promising anything. We'll just see how it goes, okay? Maybe by the 12th class, you're all enlightened, no need retreat. You see, don't see yourself, no up, okay? What is not changed is still the focus on nature of reality and factors of enlightenment. Those 2 pillars, the fundamentals of Dhamma, not change. We are still going to do this. We're tweaking how it's conducted, but the intent of the class is not just knowledge. It's to help you build knowledge, build skill, and shift your attitude, shift your mind. You don't shift mind, Dhamma is not going to dawn on you. Dhamma is not just knowledge. If it is just pure knowledge, if you remember last term, we used the word sutta, S-U-T-A, the 5 mental states. Saddha is faith, sila is morality, sutta is learning, chaga, generosity, and finally panya. Panya is the one, wisdom. That's the one that's going to shift. But wisdom is not knowledge. Pure knowledge alone does not yield wisdom. Wisdom arises when the conditions are right, when the other mental states are in place, wisdom arises. But wisdom does not equal knowledge. My job here is to ensure you get the right knowledge. Knowledge of both reality and practice. Then you weave the practice into your daily life. Then you wait for wisdom to arise. Do you understand? And in the course of the classes, it will become clearer and clearer to you what it takes for wisdom to arise. That's the reason why, because wisdom is not knowledge, right? That's the reason why you can go for classes, go for classes, go for classes. You don't put into practice anything, you will still be going for classes, classes. You will be the oldest primary schooler of the Dhamma because it didn't come alive for you. But if it comes alive for you, when you begin to understand it, right? When wisdom starts to come up, suddenly express class. Suddenly it becomes like you go from primary 1 to university. Only in the Dhamma world that can happen. Okay, you don't have to go through many years of DFC, right? First test, okay? Then you see, haven't teach anything, got test. Unusual, man. Okay, what is this? What's that? Wood, okay. What's that? Oh, enlightenment. Okay, can you don't say so fast or not? Look at that. Ta-da. Okay. Why start with elephant? This is National Geographic class? No. Have you heard of this? The universal view of Dhamma. That's what this class is about. When you go for classes after classes after classes, you learn concepts independently of each other. What you have is the tail, the leg, the butt, the ear. That's what happens when you go, if you go for Dhamma talks, right? Without a framework of understanding the Dhamma in your head, you go for the talk, you're like, sweet inspire, I love this talk teacher, the best in the world. You leave the room, remember what I said about lap Dhamma? As you get up, Dhamma fall off, lap Dhamma. That's what's going to happen. If you have only pieces of the puzzle, you can't see the elephant, okay? So in this class, we will teach you the elephant. You will have to know the pieces. You need to know the pieces. But you got to know the pieces correctly in the context of the full picture. Piece alone, not enough. You got to see piece in the picture, piece in the picture. Got it? Okay. Now I introduce mathematical formula. For those of you who know me very well, your maths so good, me. I know, right? Today I'm introducing algebra. NOR, FOE equals Nibbana, okay? So this is where it comes out. Nature of reality. Why is that so important? Because we walk around with, remember this phrase, right? All of you who didn't attend DFC1, please send them the link to DFC1. They can watch it separately on your own. If you did not attend DFC1, you may find my introduction of the Pali words annoying, exasperating. We sign up to learn Dhamma, not learn Pali. Sure. But imagine how happy you will be when you can speak Pali. Right? Learn enough to know what's going on, right? Okay. In DFC1, you will hear these words. Lobha, dosa, moha. How many of you know these words? Lobha, dosa, moha, okay? Lobha is greed. Please write it down. Lobha is greed. Dosa is hostility, anger, negativity. Okay, dosa. Unpleasant, not nice, angry. Moha is the marvelous one. The one that is so difficult to translate. Typically, it's translated as foolishness, delusion, They're like foolishness and delusion, two different words, but they meet. In moha, they are both there, okay? Our reality, our conventional reality, the way we see the world, that reality is moha. So Buddha, using one word moha, kind of sweep, just one fell sweep, that our reality is off. Without you understanding reality properly, you will always be trapped in moha. Always. Even when you learn Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, but it doesn't shift your lens within, you're still trapped in moha. Still trapped in moha. All this will be explained later. In all the classes, all these points will come up again and again and again and again until you got tired and you complain. Okay? It will be like this again and again. So, the one key thing, the first 8 classes almost, I think. No, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes. 6 classes in the first half of this term will be entirely devoted to nature of reality. That's how much it's important to understand. And you must, in your daily life, the moment we teach this, in your daily life, you must reflect on it. So today, you go home for the next 1 week, you are going to like dukkha, 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 dukkha. Until you got dukkha coming out of your ears and your nose, your orifices. Then I've done my job. Because you have to come back here, and then if you come back here next week and go, oh, I don't want to join your class anymore. The whole week I feel dukkha. Oh, very good, very good. Very good. Very good, very good. Don't worry, don't worry. Next week you'll be fine. Okay, it's going to be like that. It has to be like that. It has to be like that. Otherwise, why you think the Buddha asked the monk to go and look at death, look at death, look at death, look at death? I die, you die, they die, everybody die. Why? Why is supposed to do these things? Because you need to shift forcefully, deliberately, consciously your daily lens. You don't shift that, can't really internalize. Okay? So this nature of reality over the next 6 weeks, today, then 6 weeks, yes. 6 weeks, I'm going to drum the Dhamma into you. Then these guys said, last year I feel shortchanged. Don't worry, this year you got your change. Okay? I'm going to drum it into you. After it has been drummed into you, we will then talk about the mental states essential for awakening fully. Okay, properly, not fully. Properly. Or at least you must know the methodology. What was the methodology he taught? And you want to know that. You put the two together, that's the elephant. Okay? You put the two together is the elephant. It's Nibbana. Then you, money back guarantee, you've got pay money, meh? But it is. If you do it consciously, conscientiously, dutifully, you will get it. You will get enough to walk away from this class saying, I know what is Dhamma. Next time when I listen to Dhamma talk, I go for another class, it's to build on this frame. It's a frame. That's why we name it foundational course. It's a frame. Okay? Then how long you take to enter that stream, how long you take to get to the end point, that's your effort and your mental conditions. That's all you. We're just going to make sure you got your frames right. Okay? No leave yet. No copy yet. Some more to go. Okay? So today, this is what I'm going to cover. We are going to learn the one key sutta, 56.11. That one key sutta after the break. After the break, we're going to go into that sutta in a big way. Why? If you remember nothing from today, not my jokes, not the fun icebreaker stuff, you must at least remember 5611. You dream also, you must dream. 5611. Okay? What is Dhammacakka? 5611. Okay? If I see a license plate on you that says SJ don't know what, 5611, I know you Buddhist. Once we go through the sutta, I hope for yourself, you'll be able to explain what's Four Noble Truths. Then you say, I already know, ma. I can recount it in Mandarin, in Pali. You know as a knowledge. You may or may not understand what it does to your mind. They are not the same. I'll give you an example. How many of you remember primary 1? Yes. Mindfulness of the first order. Okay, how many of you remember when you were in school learning plus or minus? Like 1 + 1, 2, right? Or, the sign. So when you first learn those signs, right? 1 + 1, 2, 2 + 2, 4. Yeah? When you first learn it, you got to memorize it. So you really don't know how it works. Then at some point in your little mind, there was an awakening moment. Oh, like this, you give me any number, I know how to plus, right? There was an awakening moment. That was your mini mathematical awakening moment. It's your first step to Einsteinhood, okay? But that's important. The Four Noble Truths is the same. If you don't understand the essence of it, all you know is, I must memorize it. And it means this. And if you never see it featuring in your life, then it hasn't come alive for you yet. So explaining the Four Noble Truths comes when you really understand, really get it, okay? And cannot stay there. Cannot stay as mind book, brain knowledge. You have to start seeing these features of the Noble Truths in daily life. You must begin to understand why you are experiencing dukkha. You must recognize it. And then you must know straight away what you must do and how you do it. And then, ta-da, cessation of dukkha. It must be like that. Okay? Some of you are like, coming up. Okay. Activity. You all love this. I know, right? You all love this. And we're going very, very fast here. This is what I want you to write. Okay, you just like you found a friend, right? You got 5 minutes to do this. You found a friend, right? Some of you found many friends. Like you're already building your little clan. Okay, got it? So this is what I want you to do. You got only 5 minutes, do faster. Okay? What do you understand by these? A sangha, which typically means monk. Ignorance, being awakened. You're all here to be awakened, right? What? You're here for bonding. You're all here to be awakened, right? So now I want you all to quickly, 5 minutes. What's a sangha? What's being ignorant? What's being awakened? Then you say, I don't know. You can write, I don't know. Okay, go. 5 minutes. Go, quickly. Unveil. How did you do? Buddha say what, not I say. Okay? One who seeks to make a breakthrough of the Four Noble Truths. So you all don't sit down there and Four Noble Truths. I know already. If you know already, you're sangha. Okay? Enlightened. Ignorance is not understanding the Four Noble Truths. Can you see that? Be cool, not knowing suffering, origin of suffering, cessation of suffering, knowing the way leading to cessation. It's called ignorance. Okay, who got it right here? Very good. Yeah, all those years not wasted on you. Anybody got it right here? Oh, okay. Yeah, learn from the masters. Okay. Last one. Being awakened. Awaken to the Four Noble Truths, eradicating mental defilements. You awaken for Noble Truth, then you not eradicate defilement. What's the point? You still suffer. Okay. Destruction of the taints is for sorry. Oh, they are all very creative there. It's very good, very good. I like it. Okay. Means being awakened to the Four Noble Truths, completely eradicating mental defilements. And this comes, okay, all these are samples. There are many other suttas that make the same point. Okay? And I need you to be very clear about this. he didn't say awaken to DO. He didn't say awaken to dependent origination. He didn't say awaken to Abhidhamma. So please be very clear. If you understand today Four Noble Truths, you are enlightened. That's what it means. Understand in a very deep way that it will change your behavior, change your character, change the way you talk, change the way you make decisions and priorities and form friendship. It really will transform you completely. And then you know, then it really happened. Okay? Okay. The Four Noble Truths is Dhamma. If actually that's all you understand of the Dhamma, it's good enough. In the history of Buddhism, there was one person who understood when the Buddha unveiled this teaching. He was the only one who got it at first delivery. Since then, it hasn't happened. Kundanya. Since then, it hasn't happened. He was the one and only fellow who entered the stream just on this, which means it works. It's just that the rest of us not so smart, so we need more help, okay? The Buddha said, you don't get it properly, proper understanding, it's impossible to make an end of dukkha. I will explain all these dukkha. Don't worry about that. It's impossible it's impossible to stop experiencing dukkha. That's what he said. Buddha said, impossible. Translated by Bhikkhu Bodhi, of course. The construction analogy. The reason is because he says, you want to enlighten so the point here is construction analogy. I put it there without the details. You're going to look for it. So basically he's saying that without an understanding of the Four Noble Truths, you cannot realize Nibbana. So the Four Noble Truths as a knowledge, as a system of understanding and practice is the bottom story. You cannot build a house from top down. You build a house from bottom up. So the first thing that we must all get it right is that Four Noble Truths. So by now, I think I have like hit the hammer so hard, it's drummed into you already. Like a bong, bong, bong. You must know. I drum it into you. And because I've drummed it into you, we can lim kopi. Okay? You take a break now. For 5 minutes, we have a so get ready. No, slowly. So some of you start to wonder, how in the world Four Noble Truths? Hello? Yes. How in the world Four Noble Truths is going to change my mind? It's going to shape things. Then how does Tilakkhana embedded there? How? The also there? How? Actually, they all are. They're all embedded. They're all there. No, I haven't started the lecture yet. Yeah. I just want to say that the Four Noble Truths is a start point. And everything else about the Dhamma flows from there. Okay? I want to just make one point to everyone. You must believe this. Your brain is what we call plastic. Have you all heard of the term neuroplasticity? It's very important. You've got to understand that. Because it is plastic, it can be molded, it can be shaped, it can be changed. How fast that change happens depends on your saddha. Oh man, I gave it a long talk on saddha. Saddha has been translated. Go watch that talk given last Sunday. Saddha, which has been translated as faith, devotion, trust, conviction, whatever you call it, It's that mental state that makes you believe someone else is right. The Buddha is right. We all sit where we are thinking our views are right. It doesn't make sense. Logically doesn't make sense. No logic here. Logic is your construction. Okay? You cannot reason your way to Nibbana. I said that in the talk last week. But it is important for you to be receptive and you hear and you believe and you apply. You don't trust, you don't believe, you don't apply, it doesn't do its job. Okay? And all of us sitting down here has different resistance point. Our minds, our views, different degree of resistance. Some very strong. Why the resistance is so strong? Because your views are very strong. Some the resistance weaker. Why? Because you have always been guai. Guai means obedient. Then you say obedience is not a good thing. Obedience is just obedience. Good or bad depends on judgment. Okay? If your mentor is a very good man, a very wise man, obedience helps. If your mentor, who should not be your mentor, is teaching you all kinds of funny things, obedience not useful, not helpful. Okay? But you all here believe that Dhamma is beneficial. So let's just suspend our habits, our beliefs, just for a while to hear the Dhamma. Okay? So we are going into the sutta. Huh? Contextual first. Context. You must understand the context. Okay, the word itself. Dhamma, chakra. Chakra is wheel. It really is just wheel. Okay? An object, a tool to bring one person from point A to B. The wheel makes the journey easier from point A to B. This is the teaching. This is the teaching that will bring you to enlightenment. Okay? And turning, Bhavatana, it's the Buddha kicking start the process, kicking start the event. That's all it means. So it's very simple. What is the significance of this sutta? Okay, for those of you who are relatively new and never heard of this sutta, never heard of Vice 611, and okay, this is very exciting. What does it mean? Remember this. Buddha at that time was 35. Okay? And this is going to be his first business. The very first time, all the monks agreed, this was the first time he unveiled the Dhamma. So imagine, I want you to put yourself in his shoes, slippers. Okay, I want you all to put yourself in his slippers. Okay, all of you, ding, 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 ding. Okay, you're just enlightened. You know you're enlightened. You're now going to start explaining and teaching. Okay, you are excited. He wasn't, but you are excited. Okay, it's like first time coming to BF, give a talk. Don't know how the audience will react, right? Okay, that's you, Would you be like, when you come to talk, are you going to stand up here and make small talks, chit-chat, laugh? No, right? You're going to be really serious. You're going to throw up your key point, the most important points you want to make, so that it's going to be success, going to make things happen. Agree? You got imagine or not? Got try and imagine. Can you imagine yourself, right? First time you are unveiling this to the world. The significance cannot be lost on you, Buddha or otherwise. He knows this is going to make that impact. He knows. So therefore, we can assume minimally that's the key message of the Dhamma. Agree? It has to be the key message. And it's like the thing that's going to shift mind. It's going to change the world. The only problem is he was new. First time teaching, new, okay? I am speaking from experience. The Sylvia Bay who taught 20 years ago and this version, very different. 20 years ago, I will hug the book and read. 20 years later, I put the book behind me and talk. Do you understand? When you get experience, you do things differently. That's the reason why Dhamma has many other parts. But the most important, on the day he started business, that's the one. That's the crux of it. And many years, through the number of years, he improvised. He improvised in accordance with the condition he has to work with. A farmer gets the agriculture analogy. Farmer cannot understand stockbroker analogy, right? So over the years, in the different ways that he taught, was really so that he could match it, click it for that individual. It's not because there are so many parts. This is the crux of it. That's it. Okay? So the significance you got to understand. Number two, so first time teacher. Number two, by its very nature, Four Noble Truths. The reason why we listen, to talk, we read, then some of us, we like meditate, we reflect on it, doesn't get it. The reason is because it really runs against the grain of your instincts. The very grain of existence. It langgar, it jams. Which is why there is this lovely little piece, which is the preamble to the teaching. There was a piece, preamble to the teaching, where there was a conversation between the Buddha and a Brahma by the name Sahampati. And Buddha was actually inclined not to teach because it's going to be vexing. People cannot understand. They are just too obsessed with pleasure. They cannot understand. Then it is said that Brahma Sahampati, a Deva, very big time Deva, came and pleaded with him to please teach because there are some with little dust in their eyes, they will understand. You don't teach, then I wasted 5 million years waiting for you. Okay, he didn't say it like that, but that's the idea, right? We're all waiting for you. You got it, then you're like, I think I shall go and sleep. So it's very hard, okay? Because it's so radical, it's so ultra-original. Why I use the word ultra-original? He said, never heard before. No teachers have ever taught it like this. 2,500 years later, still no teacher outside of his system taught it like this, taught the same message in this way, okay? And why I say it was, so the first audience was actually quite tough. He actually didn't want to choose these five initially. He had in mind some other people, but they all died. If only it's one day earlier. Yeah, one of them died a day before he was going to teach, right? So he was left with this 5. Basically, just think of it this way, okay? Just think of it this way, You discovered a gem. It's very precious. You can share. Will you think of some random stranger? You will think of people you know, whom you think can enjoy and appreciate it. Agree? So of course you will think of the 5 who left with him for practice. Except that when they left him, they were disgruntled. They were like, oh my, you backslider. Then they went off, right? They were not very impressed with him. So these 5 that he picked, called the 5 bhikkhu, by the time this sutta came about, it was called bhikkhu. So they are fellow practitioner. Okay. And when they had their first encounter, it did take a little bit of magic to make them more receptive, because you cannot teach Dhamma to one skeptical audience. You can't. Please remember that. Please, after you understand the Dhamma, you don't go and I propagate Dhamma to you come, I teach you. It won't work, okay? Because your mind cannot resist the ideas. Your mind has to be open. Open does not mean you embrace fully, but open at least to hear the content, okay? So that's the context, huh? And now we're going to go into the sutta. The sutta has two themes. For those of you who are very familiar, you know. The sutta comes in two parts. Part 1, which is really cute. It starts like this. It starts like this. Context, where it took place, the fellows who were there. So this took place at Banarasi or Varanasi today. Deer Park Itsipatana. The words are very cute. Deer Park means it's a nature reserve where there are animals that roam around there. Isipatana means where the sage lands, walks, which means this is probably a park where the ancient sages, munis, come together to chit-chat, exchange ideas. This is a park rich with philosophical discussions. There are all kinds of people there, okay? I don't think it is congested, but it probably wasn't so isolated. It should be near, it has to be near places where people stay. Because if you read the suttas, you will know that on 2 days, these 5 of them, 6 of them, but the Buddha didn't go out. The 5 of them took turns to go collect alms. If this was so isolated, you know, they could walk, collect alms, then come back, nightfall. Okay, it cannot be like that. It has to be within walking distance. Because in the old days, no car. Okay, these guys probably they were not sitting on bullock cart. They were walking. Okay, so it started off like this. Read the text. Huh? These 2 extremes should not be followed by one who has gone forth into homelessness. What 2? Look at me first. Okay, you all read that already, huh? These 2 extremes should not be followed by one who has gone forth into homelessness. So this sutta originally was delivered to people who had already given up material life, that they were all ready to go for vimutti. They didn't call it nibbana. The regular fellows would call it vimutti, freedom of the mind, okay? That's actually one reason why I won't teach this at the first go. Your mind's not ready. You have to go through, a part of you must say, this regular daily life is hard. A part of you must say that it's hard. If there is an answer in the Dhamma somewhere to help make this life easier, I want to know. It has to be like that. If you don't have that as your start point instinct, you can't really hear this teaching. And he started off by saying, you must avoid that 2 extremes. For practitioner, you must avoid these 2 extremes. Now, all of you sitting down here have chosen this path. So you're part of that group now. You have chosen to be practitioners. You may not have taken on the rope, but this is what you have chosen. So because this is what you have chosen, you need to bear in mind that in your daily life, you avoid these 2 extremes. First, the pursuit. Note the word, pursuit. It doesn't say avoid sensual pleasure. It says pursuit of sensual happiness in sensual pleasure. This word pursuit is important to bear in mind. Buddha is not saying you cannot enjoy. He's saying you don't chase after enjoyment. What's the difference? The second one is there is a clinging, a longing, a desire, a chase, a thirst. So you can sit and you can hear music. You can sit and have a good meal. But if your mind is constantly hankering after music and meals, that's where the dukkha is. That's where you should avoid. So what do you learn from this one line? Contentment. Moderation. That's that one line. That line there, embedded there, is the idea, the notion that in our daily practice, we should moderate, we should have contentment. Okay? Then the second line reads, oh, that low, vulgar world of the worldlings. Worldlings, it's not a dirty word. Worldlings merely means people who are attached to the world. Okay? Ignoble, unbeneficial. So it's not going to be very helpful for you to grow in the Dhamma. It's not helpful. If you are constantly hankering after sense pleasure, it's not helpful for your spiritual life. Okay? The second one says, pursuit of self-mortification, which is painful, ignoble, and unbeneficial. So some people actually deliberately cause their physical form and mind pain. Deliberately. And he said that doesn't help either. And the reason why he has to say it to these five is because in those days, in terms of the practice that they had these two. You go deep into the pleasure, or you go and inflict pain on your body. So right off, he's telling them these two methods won't work. Okay? The next set, and I underline, meaning I help you. And the words are awaken to the middle way. Awaken. So without veering to the two extremes, he's awakened to the middle. So the first awakening is about methodology. A method. Get it? The method of practice. So he awakened to the method before the method yields the knowledge. And this method gives rise to vision, knowledge. Two parts, vision and knowledge. Vision is something you can see. So you look at the Dhamma, it says, sanditiko. You can see, it's experiential. If you follow the method that he taught, you should begin to see something and begin to understand what you are seeing. Vision and knowledge means that. I repeat, vision means something you can see. What can you see? Example, this is just an example. If you are by nature a very angry person, but the Buddha told you you need to pipe down, learn to let go, be at peace. Then you say, okay, Lord, Buddha says so, I let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. One day you can see for yourself how you have changed. How you have changed. How your mind is now different. So you see, right? You see only, but did you understand what happened to you? If you understand what has happened, that's knowledge. I paused here because I can see all this like, okay? Any question here? This is very important. So whatever experience that you have in the Dhamma, number one, it is real life. It's daily life. That is something that you experience. And you must see. That see, vision, means you can see for yourself how things are different, how you are different, how the mind is different. Can see, vision. And then you must understand what is going on, knowledge. You see, then you don't understand, that is bye-bye. That's it. Sight gone. Then you see, not automatic, the two meh. You tell me when it happens. is it automatically? Seeing leads to vision. Vision leads to knowledge. If it were automatic, the Buddha wouldn't say, Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Eapasiko Opanaiko Pachatam Pachatam Wedi Tabo Winyu Hiti. You see, then it's immediate, then it leads you, so compelling, so inspiring, and then to be realized by the wise for himself. There's so many steps. That's the mind. Your mind is complex. It's not like that, like that, like that, like that. It can be like that, like that, like that, but it's steps. It goes in steps. But why are we doing this? Why do we want to spend our time changing our habits, changing the way we think? Because that happens. Peace, direct knowledge, enlightenment, nibbana. Vision and knowledge will transform you. And the result of that transformation is you feel peace. Comes from within. You are one serene creature floating happily. Peace. And from that peace comes deeper realization. Comes complete awakening. Now you know. And then that deep sense of nibbana, which is a state of mind. Nibbana is a state of mind. When you are experiencing nibbana, we can boil you, you're okay. Okay, maybe we're not so graphic, but you get the idea. When you're sitting down there baking in the sun, oh, this is so hot, right? Everybody's like wilting, melting, but you are okay, leh. Okay, ma. No, okay, me. You'll be like that, okay? Imagine how much electricity you save. Okay, and all this is at the beginning. And then he says, and what bhikkhus is the middle path awakened by the Tathagata. So, wait, before I forget, and I must say this, it's the path that leads to that. Can you see the words there? It's the path that when you incorporate, so if you start to train yourself in the way that he dictated at the bottom, you start to train yourself, vision and knowledge will arise. The path, not the 1, 2, 3 noble truth, the path, okay, they're all there, but the idea here is the framework, the methodology, that knowledge and practice leading to a state of mind that is a methodology, a framework of training, of transforming yourself. When you get that straight, this is the Eightfold Path. Okay, so for those of you, how many of you here can recite the Eightfold Path just like that? Come on, be honest, be honest, be honest. Yeah, I like you. You must memorize the Eightfold Path, okay? Memorize it, memorize it. Don't look at me, memorize in sequence, okay? After a while, it will come to you. It's like a wheel, very easy. It's that path. You like it or not, that framework you need to understand, because that's how you change. Okay? No lim kopi now. Moving on. No, don't worry, don't worry. Now I got a chance for you to chit-chat. So happy you are. Okay, 4 noble truths. I need a break. First noble truth, okay? Now these, bhikkhu, is the noble truth of dukkha. Please, Buddha did not say life is suffering. Buddha said the noble truth of dukkha. The word dukkha is very cute. So now I'm going to explain the word dukkha. And I'm going to use this word dukkha instead of the word suffering. Okay? Dukkha is, direct translation has always been suffering, but actually the word has 2 parts. Du and ka. Ka is doing, action, stuff. Karoti, it comes from that word. Do is hard. So something that is hard to experience. You can call it stress, dissatisfaction, noble truth of stress, noble truth of dissatisfaction, unsatisfactoriness. I tell you, Buddhists are very good at coming with multi-syllabic words. Okay, noble truth of dissatisfaction. Okay, and then he went on to say, birth is dukkha, aging is dukkha, illness is dukkha, death is dukkha. Union with what is displeasing is dukkha. Separation from what is pleasing is dukkha. Not to get what one wants is dukkha. In brief, the 5 aggregates of grasping are dukkha. Okay? Your task in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, your task is to discuss amongst yourself, what do you understand by this description of dukkha? Because it is very common for people to say, I know already, like I don't know, so obvious. Really? So now you will sit in your group, pick your favorite partners, bunch of you. I don't want 10 in a group. I put a hard limit of 5. Okay. Go into your group, 5 minutes, quickly. Like, what do we understand? Do we get it? Do we feel it? What does it mean? Okay, go. 5 minutes. Very quickly, right? It's difficult. Why yes? Why no? Why yes? Why yes? 生老病死 birth, aging, death, the ill and death. Do you have to accept it naturally? Good question. What do you think? Oh, yes. Yeah. Enlightenment, right? Yeah. She's absolutely right. Okay. What else? What else? Very good, very good. Say some more. Who else? Jiang 还是老的辣 Ginger, the older, the spicier, right? The more potent. Okay. Chinese expression. Chinese very graphic. It's very, very graphic. Okay. What else? What other observation? Hey, come on, I give you 5 minutes. There's so many of you. Different degree of dukkha, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Very good. Yeah. See, awakening. Some more? See some more? What else? Very good. Yeah. Okay. That comes under which one? Not getting what you want is dukkha. Very good. Zhang Xueyu will love you. Okay. Okay, what else? Yes, please. Yes, awaken. Lovely. See that? You spend a bit of time reflecting on the teaching, it becomes so obvious. The 5 aggregates are not out there. It's within. This one gets star. Okay. What else? Very good. Very good. Yeah. This is how you start to tease apart that teaching to make it come alive for you. Okay. He will never forget. She will never forget. These guys who have offered their views, they will not forget what they have discovered for themselves. What else? Any other very intriguing or very interesting little observation? Anything that struck you in your discussion? Anything came out?
Somebody here said, when we identify with the form and feelings, it is dukkha.
Absolutely. Very good. Did you come out by yourself or you had a discussion? Online. Oh, okay. Very good. That's it. Dukkha is unavoidable. Why? Because the stages of life and death unavoidable. Okay. Yes, true. For most people, unavoidable. And you're right, because there are different types of dukkha. The very last slide today will tell you the different types of dukkha. Okay, very good point. Any more? So helpful. I like you, know? Absolutely. Different types of dukkha.
Somebody here said there's a physical versus a mental pain.
Lovely. 5 aggregates, physical and mental. Okay. Now, my turn. I'm like dying to say quickly, then my turn to talk. Okay. You look at this, it's really cute. Look at, you must always observe how it is presented. The monks of the old were very careful. By the time this was recorded, all the monks who were present were gone. All 5 of them who were witness to that first teaching were no longer alive. They were parinibbana already by the time of the recording. So this is how monks remembered what they went through, possibly from their conversation with each other. They remembered how the Buddha had taught. So this is a second-hand recording, second-hand, okay? Nonetheless, they would have made every effort to make sure they recorded it accurately. Because all these monks who came together to put together the compilation, they were his smartest, best practice, most devout disciples who spent possibly years in their life putting together this compilation. Okay? And this is how it is cast. The first part, birth, aging, illness, and death, dukkha. That's the body. That's the body. The body goes through a series of processes which you cannot stop, which you cannot change, and it is in itself painful. That's the physical one, dukkha dukkhata. It is painful. It is more painful if the second part comes into the play. Being with something displeasing, you don't like it, you experience unpleasantness, separated from something you like, which gives you pleasure. So your first and the second, which you now see as separate, is actually one. It can be one, it can be separate. So people who go through this physical form problems, aging, dying, that physical, they may or may not have a mental accompaniment. Agree? If they have mental, means I wish my body's not like that, they will have part 2 pain. If they accept that the body is indeed so, they will not have part 2 mental pain. And the mental pain, Shankara Dukkata, which will come up again. This is second type. The nature of change up here is painful. You will go through it. So, not to get what one, so part 1 is physical, part 2 is mental, that links to the physical, or not. Because it doesn't have to be mental. It has to be like, I don't like your face, why are you here? It means yearning, wanting, preferences, desires. As long as you have preferences, you will experience dukkha. That's what it says. But the last one is the most important. It's the summary. Basically, after he talked about the first 3 points, then he say, in brief or in short, the 5 aggregates of grasping, dukkha. And that's his summary. This is 5 aggregates of grasping. We are no more, in terms of dukkha, in terms of dukkha, we are no more than the 5 aggregates of grasping. In terms of dukkha, you are more than that. I don't want to go into that, it will confuse you. So when people say we are 5 aggregates, actually that's not quite what he said. What he said specifically was the 5 aggregates of grasping dukkha. He didn't say 5 aggregates dukkha. Why is that so? Answer will unfold in the next 3 weeks. Because we will go deep into the aggregates, but for a flavor, I will explain. The 5 aggregates are form, feeling, perception. I'm thinking of the right word. The word is Shankara. I know it's been translated as volitional formation, mental formation, thinking, thoughts, whatever. It is construction, mental construction. You can even use the word narratives, okay? It's built in consciousness. And what actually means is you don't cling to any other thing than these 5. If you get upset, feelings and perception. If you get upset with your body, form, feeling, and perception. If you think and got more upset, Shankara. Do you see what I'm saying? And then you just created for yourself a wonderful life today. Consciousness. You are no more in daily existence. No more. You don't realize anything beyond these 5 aggregates of grasping. What do you cling to? Feeling. What do you cling to? Views. What do you cling to? Thoughts. What do you own? Feeling, views, thoughts, form. Me, consciousness. Or whatever you say. So this phrase, this line, in brief, 5 aggregates of grasping, dukkha. So there are these 5 components, parts of you that you are most aware of and that you own and that you identify with and that you cling to. These 5, because you cling to them, they are the condition for dukkha. Understand? And therefore, in subsequent classes, we have to go deep into what is form, what's feeling, perception, Shankara, consciousness. We want to do that in a big way. Then if you sit down there and go, I know already, Sister Sylvia, can we like skip to the best part? You don't know your aggregates. If you do, you won't suffer. There will be no sense of suffering. It's because we don't. That's why we continue to suffer. Okay? Moving on. Second noble truth. This is personal reflection. I don't want to hear peep from you, okay? Personal reflection. Meaning you sit there quietly. You look at that line. It says, now because the noble truth of the origin of suffering. So the idea here is, why do we experience dukkha? Okay, what's the source of dukkha? It is this craving, which leads to renewed existence, accompanied by delight and lust, seeking delight here and there. That is craving for sensual pleasures, kama tangha. Tangha means greed, craving. Craving for existence, bawa tangha, and craving for extermination. We bawa tangha. I think you will not enjoy a personal reflection, right? I sit here quietly, I don't even know what I'm supposed to reflect. Okay, I tell you what, talk. Go, talk to each other, 5 minutes, okay, 5 minutes. Now, the challenge is to nail down the source of dukkha. So earlier on, we know why we experience dukkha. Why do we experience dukkha? We experience dukkha because actually now, what are the sources of dukkha? Right? The body, the mind, the feeling, the perception, the clinging to this that gives me pain. So now is why? Why do those things give you pain? In other words, why does the body Why is the body a source of dukkha? Why are feelings, perception, a source of dukkha? So this is your challenge. Try and understand this sentence. Okay, you all did so well earlier. I'm so proud of you. Now another 5 minutes for you to demonstrate your brilliance. Okay, go, 5 minutes. Yourself, you just agree which are the most important words, right? And afterwards, I will ask you and you give me the answer and you tell me why those are the most important words. Okay, easier? Okay. Any of you discovered the 3 parts? Okay, let's just try. What's part 1? What's part 1? What's part 2? Sorry? Seeking. Where? Seeking. Okay, wait. Let's do a different color. Okay. So part 1 is craving. Part 2. All these guys. Part 2. What's part 3? Now let me explain. Dukkha is because of craving. But he didn't end it there. He tells you this craving is like a battery. He didn't use the word battery, but you know what he means. It's like a battery. It is this craving that leads to renewed existence. Now, you may think this is rebirth. No, this is daily life. In your daily life, your moment to moment to moment to moment is driven by craving. And this craving, if you are aware of your mind, you will realize that this mind seeks, chase. But how does it chase? Accompanied by delight, pleasure. Lust is not sex. It's like yearning, extreme pleasure. So the normal, regular worldling typically has an uncontrolled thirst and hunger within. That moment to moment, it will chase, look for things to do. I think Bhante Ji was the one who calls it stimulation. Stimulation external is kama tangha. Stimulation internal is this one, bhava vibhava tangha. Okay? So this is not about one time go, die that time, becoming or not becoming. No, it's your daily existence. You chase after something out there, which is your karma, sensual pleasure, or you chase after something in there to repeat a thought so that you experience again. Don't try and stop a thought, because it gives you so much pain. So that is your bhava and vibhava. Someone passes away, you grieve, you yearn for this person to be there. Then you tell yourself, because of my yearning, I will suffer. I stop thinking about him, vibhava. I got scolded, I don't like it, but I cannot stop replaying it. So then you are toggling between, I cannot help myself replaying. And I cannot stop myself. I want to stop replaying, but I can't. Bower, we bower. It happens to us all the time. So essentially, in your daily life, in our daily life, our regular mind is caught up in this yearning, or it can be very subtle. You don't even realize how subtle is subtle. Get out of bed, don't feel like getting up. Bala, karma tangha. Why you so hard to get out of bed? Because bed very nice. Rainy day, bed very nice. Why can't I sleep a bit more? Accompanied by delight and lust, seeking delight here and there. Agree? Can you see this in yourself daily, hourly, half hourly? Why don't you just go down to the second? Okay? Second noble truth is also us. Daily, hourly, by the second. Look at your mind right now. Some of you say some more, say faster. Some of you say slower, so much thing to learn. Even that is bawa tangha. Okay? I do it at my own pace. But you have a bawa tangha. This is like strip of the seven, dance of the seventh veil. Take forever to get to her point. It's like that. You need to internalize this. So, going back today, watch how your mind yearns. Look for, today, when you go off, look for this fella. Okay? Just look for this guy. You just walk and see how you have this fella keep popping up. Keeps popping up. That's the scary part. If you have not trained your mind to be present, if you have not trained the mind to be present and to be calm and to watch the breathing, just watch the breathing. You let loose, a fellow will like go to the candy store, buy candies. Haven't even reached the store yet, already bought the candies. I got credit card, I got credit card, I got the credit card. Yes, I got money from my father. Okay? Today you watch this guy. Then when you got more confident, you watch how this guy, is this your world or is this your world? Which one? Which one is your world? Do you live more for sense pleasure out there? Or do you live more for the feelings, the thoughts, the desires in there? This bawa tangha with bawa tangha refers to your feeling, your perception, your thoughts formation, that world. Okay? If I miss somebody, where does it fall? Into both. But these are very good. Human, you yearn him, you yearn the sound of the voice, the sight of the person, touch a bit. Right? That's so you are yearning for sensual. That's why sensual delight is very powerful because it flips both ways. And watch how your mind goes, prata man. Okay, that's the real prata man. The form. Oh, I love the form. Oh yeah, should not think so hard. Like people about tangha, then go back to tangha, then it goes like that. Okay, this is the regular man's mind. Okay. Number 3, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can you always continue to breathe? Breathing, still breathing? Yes. What do you think? Actually, yes. That is why. So if you have a lot, so that I have always been saying this in classroom space. When you think a lot, when you have a lot of thoughts, what it means is you have a lot of craving. You have a lot of craving and therefore you suffer a lot. Yes. Very good. Yes. It doesn't say anything more. You are very good. Wow, enlightenment, everyone. You. I suffer to hear you say that. Correct. Very good. Very good. Yes. But already you have learned so much. It's so beautiful, isn't it? Some of you are beginning to feel this deep little joy that arises. Yes? Some of you begin to feel it, right? You remember what he said about the middle path? That when there is vision and there is knowledge, which is understanding, it leads to peace and direct knowledge, enlightenment, and nibbana. You need to go through this process. The process cannot shortcut, huh? No shortcut. Don't come and ask for magic bullet or magic pill. But you are getting it. So I'm very happy to hear. And it's only the second noble truth, like. You got 4, right? You're only 50% done. Okay? Next one. 5 minutes, go. So now my question to all of you. Did all the group find the 2 parts? Or sort of you think you spotted 2 parts? Did you all find it? It's either a yes or a no. You think you found it? Not bad. You think I found it? So now the question is whether or not your finding is correct, right? Okay, come. Where's the part 1? What's the part 1? Cessation of suffering. So that's, sorry, which one again? Cessation of suffering. Cessation of craving. Okay, so this part 1 you say lah. What's part 2? Huh? Non-reliance. Okay, so that's a 2-part. Anybody disagree? Sorry? Freedom. Mana freedom? Oh, freedom. Okay, this one another answer. Okay. Okay, what's your 2 parts again? Freedom is 1 part. Any more? There's only 1 part. Where's the other part? Cessation of suffering. Okay. Everybody loves cessation. Okay, any more? Giving up. So is that the part 1, part 2, or part 3? Part 1 is giving up. Okay. What's part 2? Freedom. All right. Part 2. Any more? I see they're all in different colors. Fading away is part 1. Oh, okay. Together. Okay. Let's be greedy. Why not, right? Fading away. Okay. And then the second part? Second part? Hello? All these. Yeah, why not? What do we say in Chinese? Kaka lai. Boldly go, right? Boldly come. Okay. Chinese are like that. Okay. Hokkiens are not even Mandarin. Okay. Okay. Balik kampong. No, that one go home. That go home. Okay. What do you think? Which one is correct? You got red, blue, red, purple, yellow, green. Which one is correct? Now you are talking. All right. Green is correct. Okay. Yeah. No, because you got it right, you explain why they are in 2 parts. No, you're right. But why is it 2 parts? Why is this 1 and this 2? Why? Wait, yeah, the mic.
The removal of that craving, which is number 2, removal of noble truth 2, until there's nothing left. The second part is to not touch it anymore, to be free from it.
Okay.
So the second part is that
So you put the Buddha's teaching the other way around. No, he's very good. But the odd thing is you could flip it the other way around. How come? Why the Buddha like sequence wrong leh? Because Buddha we know was very precise. So didn't you wonder why his is flipped the other way around? Hey, you all must provide an answer because collectively the class all agree with you, so I don't force you give answer. The rest give answer. He did the first listing already, you all did the rest, you're doing the rest. Interesting, right? Because you're right, it should be 2, 1. But he said 1, 2. Why?
So you cannot go stun.
Go stun means go backward. What do you all think? Huh? What do you think? Oh, because the sentence structure is like that. So she blames the Pali sentence construction. Right? Anyone else? Very creative answer, very good.
I'm just thinking, right? So is it a case, it's a chicken and egg problem, right? You stop, so you reduce it first, then you stop, or you stop first, then you slowly reduce.
Ah, so chicken and egg cannot quite decide.
Yeah.
Maybe, oh. Yes, say some more, seriously. Yes.
Then you can slowly fading away and
Okay. So yours is a little bit more elaboration of his, right? Meaning you need to do the lifting, you got to do it. And then it happens. Okay. Okay. Some more. Wait. Eileen very busy. Eileen already very
The
slow.
online people can't hear.
Okay, go.
So the first part is like what you need to do. Second part is how you do it.
Ah, okay. So what you need to do and how you do it. Okay. I hear you. Some more? Yes, go.
Okay, so far quite all intellectual, so maybe I just do another answer.
Okay.
Maybe it's because of the audience.
Audience,
The
okay.
audience that he's preaching to.
So,
Yeah. Because if I am like on like a sangha already or practicing already, I might have actually done 2 already. At the very
Oh,
beginning.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the audience lah. Okay. I'm still hearing you. Some more? Any more or not? It's very cute, right? I tell you what's your problem. So rude, right? Straight away, like, I tell you what's your problem. I tell you what is our problem. All of us. When I set out, I had the same issue. Why 2, 1? Oh, at least I spotted 2, 1. 2, 1, 2, 1. Another set of numbers for you. And I did. I wondered. Okay. And then one day, in one of the retreats, it finally dawned on me why like that. Actually, if you don't do anything, your craving will fade away. If you don't do anything, what comes out will fade. But you construct and keeps it alive. So part 1 means nature. Any craving arises will fade away. It comes and it goes. You must not bring it back alive. You must not resurrect. You must let it go. Okay? It's nature. Whatever arises will fade away. So cessation of dukkha happens when they fade away completely. No craving, no dukkha. It will fade away. But the human wants to do things. The human believes that you need to fix things. There's a dukkha, we got to fix it. So what the Buddha is saying is, understand the nature of craving. It comes and it goes. Let it go. Giving up. Let it go. The craving will fade away, let it go. Then it gets more and more. The 4 of them. It will fade. Give it up. comes back again, let it go. Once you can let it go, so actually, correctly, it should be 3 parts, okay? Now I show you 3 parts. Then you're like, 2 parts already so difficult, got 3 parts. Okay, first part is this one, no change. Sorry? This is part 1. 2, 3. 1, it comes, it goes. 2, let it go. Don't bring it up again. 3, if you can do it, you're free from it. You're no longer a slave to it. In any form of craving, it flows in this way. I need you to remember the steps. So this week, go watch your mind. Craving arises. Don't do anything, you will see it fade away. For those of you who go and do the heart retreat on mindfulness, you will notice arising, falling. It will fade. But you will talk about it. When it fades, you go, is it coming back again? Boom, it's back again. You talk. You charm it back to life. So your heart must know it comes, it goes. So what you are letting go is a habit. Okay, there is the object of craving. I love colors. Just let you all know, okay? I love colors, like the more beautiful. Let's get orange. Okay. Object. See, very Sangala color object. Okay? Craving. Is craving object? No. Craving is a mental state and a habit, but it's not the object. When you're mindful, what are you watching? Mindful of this or mindful of this? Mindful of craving. Remember that. When you are mindful of craving, you will realize craving comes, craving goes. Okay? Don't look at the object, look at the energy, the thirst, the desire that arises. Watch that fella. It comes up and it goes. Don't link this to the object. There is 1,000 and million objects for you. It's like a harem of objects for you. Just know, watch that craving. Then when you watch that craving and you know it has gone, that it's strengthened, then it will weaken, rising, falling. The craving is intense, then it fades. Then watch how you bring it back. Your mind says, gone back. This is what we call kepo, busybody, right? Just, it's gone, let it go. So that's what it means in your practice in daily life, that you must learn to recognize the object and to watch it come, watch it go. Let be. Easier said than done because you don't have wisdom, absolutely. Because you don't have, if only a boom, then it boom like this, perfect. Because you don't have this. This is a framework of practice. This is what I call FOE. This is the FOE part of the house. 1, 2, and 3, reality. 4, FOE. Now I tell you how we do our life typically. The worldling's habit. Okay? Worldling's habit. Actually, you're supposed to have another exercise. You know what? You tell me the worldling habits based on this. Okay? Right view, right thought, right speech, action, livelihood, right? Effort, la, 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 la. Okay, that's your right. We're all whirling here, right? The whirlings, whirlings, okay? So whirling should know what is wrong view, wrong thought, wrong speech, wrong everything, right? Okay, go, your job. Fit your habits to your daily life. And that's why we have dukkha. I know, you're like, we're supposed to teach us right. I want you to tell me what's wrong first. Because if you know it's wrong, then you know the right is opposite more. Then you say, but how do I know? Your life more? It is your life, right? Your daily life. Now you describe your daily life in the 8 wrong path. Okay? This room will happily design how to understand Adama, wrong Dhamma. Okay, go. 10 minutes, okay. The gatekeeper says 10 minutes, go. It's really because this methodology, this is what works. So you got to understand how your regular mind works, and then you understand why you need to fix it differently. I like this. If I get what I want, I'll be happy. That's the typical view. Right? Very good. Who wrote that? Nibbana. The regular man's mind makes that assumption. I'll be happy when I get what I want. The problem is a lot of things I want. And my one never stops. And because it doesn't stop, I'll never get what I want. I'll never be able to get everything I want. So every one of us has this problem. Even practitioners. I want jhana. Got already, I want jhana 2. Got already, I want jhana 3. Got already, I want arupa jhana. And you know, I heard about nirodha sampatti. Okay, it doesn't matter they are deluded, but the point is, there is always something else I want. And your first, the right view, the right views always says 4 noble truths, which means to say, learn moderation, learn contentment, because the craving is very spontaneous. It will search, it will chase, it will seek delight again and again, right? Because your habit of searching and craving is there. You must learn to let it be, learn to accept that things come and go, So that's right view. Wrong view is the conventional view. I, in this life, for it to be meaningful, must be successful. Must earn a lot of money so I can look after my family. Must do this, must do that. I've got identity. I need to uphold my identity. If I'm a monk, I better be the best monk in town. My temple, my monastery has to be the biggest. And then on a good day, we'll put it on the stock exchange. All right? And our human wrong view. So you can see why wrong view starts the process, right? How you view will then be what you think about on an average day. If what I want is success defined by accumulations, acquisition, if success defined by me being able to leave a legacy, if it's all that, then my thought will be caught up in what I want. He who loves money will not let go of money. He will constantly churn the money pool. How do I get the best interest from which account? Then if what I want is power, why the fellow never respect me? Huh? You see me, you don't see me, is it? You don't respect me? It's an obsession with that. If what you want is just adventure, I hate this job. I hate this job. I want to go and travel around the world. You see that? What you want which is your definition of success, then your thoughts will be about that. And you will cling and you will hold and you won't let go because you perceive that with those thoughts, you're happy, especially if you can accumulate. When you don't get what you want, what happened? I'm angry. And I will vent. I'll give in to my anger. So, from how you see the world will lead to how you think about the world, which will then become an expression of things. Ill will, cruelty, and then it will become an expression, speech and action. It will become an expression. That's downstream. Upstream starts with how you see the world. What do you want in this life? Upstream translates into daily thoughts, translate into action, downstream. Speech and action, speech and activities, the choices that you make. I put livelihood aside. I put that aside. If you look at your mind, on average, any day, you would just go by your instincts, right? Whatever strikes you, you react. Whatever strikes you, you react. Correct? Then if nothing to do, you generate. And you generate in accordance with pleasure and desires. That's what it means. Is that right effort? That one takes no effort. It's not even wrong effort, it's no effort. No effort, you sit down there and, oh, pleasure, right? Must do this. Right? Sit down there, listen to Dhamma talk. What should I eat tonight? No effort. Right effort means we stop these habits. We stop this driving aimlessly by your instincts. So your car is going nowhere, round and round in circle. Okay? And because your mind is like this, it's very busy, right? The mind is very, very busy, whole day about doing this, doing that, getting this, going that. Huh? Therefore, your mindfulness, which is actually what someone said, paying attention on the wrong thing, which is absolutely true. You don't pay attention, full stop. And if you do pay attention, it's on the wrong thing. So there's no the typical regular mind, which is caught up in thoughts, has no mindfulness. If it were mindful, it would be mindful of bad feelings or of something I desire. So you're paying attention to pleasure. Lobha, dosa, moha. You're paying attention to that. And the result of this, now can you see why meditation is so hard? It takes forever to think of it this way. I'm going to sit and meditate, but my house is a mess. Cannot meditate when the house is a mess. So I'm going to do spring cleaning. Just before I sit every day, I scrub floor and get rid of the thing so that it is calm and quiet, and then I can sit. By the time you finish cleaning up the house, in a figurative way, by the time you stop the thought, calm it down, pleasure, time to get up. And how was your meditation? Oh, you're bad, as always. Like this. Okay? Therefore, you have to understand how do you switch your instincts, switch your habits, mental habits. And we start with right view. Because you get that one right, the incentive to stick by this right path is there. You get the right view wrong, especially the version that says 50-50, I do 50% here, next life handle the rest. Or I today do one version, tomorrow do another version. It's like you can spread out food. Today you eat rice, tomorrow you eat protein, day after vegetable. Is that going to do anything to your body? Not so great, right? I mean, just imagine you just eat rice today. You need a full balanced diet. And it's the same. This Eightfold Path is the nutritional diet of the mind, of the spiritual mind. So you got to work on understanding. Now, mind you, the one knowledge, right view is the one you can feed with knowledge at the start point. Then it cascades down, it's into practice. Starts with knowledge. So knowledge of the Eightfold Path, knowledge of what is right view, knowledge of what everything entails. But the one thing that is really about knowledge, and it will start from there, is right view. You can learn that. That's why you can learn the Four Noble Truths. But to practice, to make it into a way of life, you have to understand and you have to want to do it. Then you must dutifully apply yourself. The methodology is there. You have Kalyana meter around you, you're good to go. It's a matter of time. You will get it. Understand? Okay. Any question here? That's not very fast. And I just want to point out a few words to you. Watch, First noble truth has to be understood, knowledge, right? Second noble truth has to be abandoned. So you're craving for sensual pleasure out there, mental pleasure, mental ones. That craving has to be let go of, has to be abandoned. The cessation of dukkha, cessation of craving has to be realized. So you need to see it. You need to see it works. That's the reason why I said earlier, it's a natural process. Every one of you will experience cessation. The problem is you didn't stop there. All of us will experience cessation like 20,000 times a day. But you didn't stop there. You went on to, I want again. Then you start again, no? So you went to samsara, lo, instead of dhammacakka, lo. Okay? And the path leading to the cessation of dukkha, meaning you complete the journey. This is the last one is, it's every time you practice this path, you operationalize it, at that point you will experience peace. The cessation will come on. Like example, I really want to eat chicken rice. Okay, we're vegetarian. I really want to be vegetarian. Okay? I really want. Then the thought says, nekkhamma, must let go. Yeah, it's okay, whatever it is, just let be. Whatever is there, just eat, let go. Straight away you feel a sense of peace, right? Straight away you feel a sense of peace. You hit nekkhamma, let go, right? You feel a sense of peace. Ta-da! Cessation of dukkha. Get it? Then you, what the rest? The rest just let be, whatever happens, happens. You don't need at every one time. It's not a case where I need all 8 to happen now, then I experience cessation. No, they can just like this. The moment the mind has nekkhamma means letting go. The moment the mind nekkhamma, you're fine. You're fine straight away. You're not fine, you talk yourself to fine. You will say, it's okay, let be. It's okay. So you tell each other, don't fight. It's okay, let be. See what I'm saying? You can do that, you're fine, it's peaceful. You go into right effort, it's fine, it's peaceful. You go into mindfulness, it's fine, it's peaceful. See what I'm saying? It's very cute. There's Eightfold Path. On the one hand, it's in sequence. On the other, every single one, if you understand it very well, they will work for you anytime. You get upset, you watch mindfulness, watch breathing, anger go. Cessation. You get upset. You just, instead of caught up with the object, you just watch the breathing, anger drop, gone. Then you must realize, you must recognize and say, you look, when I don't hold on to it, I feel better. You must recognize it, realize. He didn't say learn and understand. He said realize. So every time you've experienced akusala, unpleasant sensation, every time If you are able to tell yourself, it's okay, wait, it's okay, don't react, then it's okay. Cessation, must recognize, must remember. Is this the path? Yes. Is this awakening when you get it? Yes. Am I in the stream? Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Because the stream is all about clinging. Okay, it's all about clinging. But that one is last class. We talk about that later. Okay. No need. Okay. Do you need copy? No need. We only got 5 more slides. And yeah, take a breath. No need copy, huh? You all say what, huh? You say, huh? Stretch a bit. 1 minute. Stretch. Okay? Can I continue? I need copy, right? Maybe 1 minute? Walk faster. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Just get. For the ones who are here, think about this. When they all come back from toilet, give me answer. Like a no-brainer answer, right? Because without understanding the noble truths, any more? One more. Without understanding the noble truth, how to experience Nibbana? Like a no-brainer answer. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't mean for you to think very hard. It's a trick question. It wasn't one of those noble truths question where like could think very hard. Because if you don't understand the noble truths, you will never be able to tame craving. That one will not fade. Craving is the battery of life. Buddhists believe in rebirth. So at that moment of death, if craving is still a latent instinct in you, it will trigger another birth. Think of it this way. Craving essentially is a battery of continuity, and it recharges on its own. Okay? Craving. So without the noble truths in the proper way, so your homework this week is to constantly recall the noble truths. 1, 2, 3. Like was 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you say 4 leh? Factors of enlightenment later. Part 2. But you already know roughly. Roughly. Okay. Now, I like this one really much. Really cute. Don't you love my turtle? It took me a long time to try and fit the color, okay? It's got a lot of craving there, color, okay? This is what the Buddhists say. Ignorance of the 4 noble truths will lead one to delight in Shankara. Volitional formation means Shankara. Ignorance of the noble truths will lead any one of us to just go with the delight and chase after the pursuit of that delight. And when you have that delight, there will be rebirth. Whether it's one lifetime of born again, or die and start again. When it is the latter one, die and reborn, right? Then that's where things can go really wrong. You're so sure you will come back to Dhamma. You want to come back, you want to return to the Dhamma, you need to make sure that that understanding of the Dhamma is very much ingrained in your mind, so that when there's a rising again, when you're born again, the mind always feels that there's something missing when you don't have the Dhamma. We know this because there was actually a sutta where the Buddha said, when people are reborn and they are enjoying themselves, because you're practitioner, you will enjoy a good rebirth. Then you spring up again, then you, ta-da, Dewa Lamb, oh wow, so fun, let's go play. Okay, you play, you forgot the Dhamma. So life 1, remember, practice. Life 2, forgot. Life 3, alamak, start again. Okay, so things can go catastrophically wrong. And it's the turtle, because it's the turtle, that tortoise one, turtle, tortoise, whatever. Depending on which sutta you read, he's either blind or one-sighted. Okay, and this turtle, just think of him as swimming in this vast ocean with no land. It's just vast ocean. Then once 100 years, he stuck his head out. In the meantime, there is a free floating yolk out there. So what are the odds that this fella, when he sticks his neck out, is through that yolk? Phenomenal, right? The odds are phenomenally against him. It's not like an ocean full of yolk. It's just one. And it's not like a giant turtle. He's a tiny one. So it's going to be like phenomenal. So the Buddha is very, very good with his graphic imagination. His imagery is very powerful. So he said, if a human dip into the lower realm, the odds of him making out of there are lower than this wonderful turtle poking his head into the free floating yolk. So you can just imagine, jalat. Jalat means very bad, disastrous. See anything? Then in another sutta, he said another one. First and foremost, so hard to be born a human, he said. To be born in a time when there is the Buddha, because it's his time, or in our time where there is the Dhamma, to have that, to have the conditions aligned. Born human so you can understand, in the age of the Dhamma so you can learn. The odds are lower than that tortoise or turtle sticking his head up and getting it through that free floating yolk. Imagery is so powerful, no need to reinvent wheel. Use the same one, it's okay. Okay? And his advice to people, if you have a chance, you get it right, you understand, if you have compassion and love for your loved ones, it's good to lay it on the table for them. It's good to help them build a connection to the Dhamma. They don't have to, like that, every Saturday come for class. Every day find time to meditate. No need to hit your level of dedication. But plant that seed. Do something for them. It will be to their good. And if they can see it, oh, perfect. They're safe. The rebirth will be okay. And when the time comes, that's it. That is it. What is Dukkha? Isn't he cute? Now, you all now understand Dukkha, right? But the Buddha said it's so complex. It's so profound. There's so many ways of looking at it. Therefore, the point is, this is a journey for all of us. You know, daily life, every time you have this experience of unpleasantness, look at it. Understand how it came out. Watch it, see how it fades away. You want to build the Four Noble Truths into part of your daily life. Do not make the mistake of, I understand, voila, I can pass exam, go out, gone. Don't make that mistake. Even till today, I've been looking at this for 30 years. I still discover little cute little new insights about this. There's a 5611. Till today. No, you know why? You see, for those of you who have come repeat students, right? You know how I've been teaching this in many years. And you know every time you come, there's a new angle. Then you're like, I have to come again because I don't know when next year got new angle. Craving, I know. Why don't you create your own angle? Have your own perspective, your own experience. And that is your experience, which I would love to hear. We sit with Sangha, right? You sit with Sangha, really well practicing one. They will also have a new perspective about the Noble Truth. It's so beautiful every time you hear them speak. And they always talk about the Noble Truths. Like Ajahn Chah, like nothing to talk about, always the Noble Truths, right? The Noble Truth, the Eightfold Path, the Noble Truth, the Eightfold Path. When he talks about Paticca Samuppada, he always talks about Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path because those are the fundamentals. You grow, as you grow on this path, you will begin to see this really, really beautiful concept. And you will, hopefully you don't look like that, okay? Hopefully it's constant reflection. It's according to another sutta, that's what he said. You need a constant reflection, which means to say, you cannot just memorize. You have to reflect, see in the daily life. Every time you experience unpleasantness, what's the source? What is it you're craving every time? And then remember the Eightfold Path and go, I can let this be. I will watch my tongue. I will not give in to that craving to scold. Something like that. You keep doing this, you keep doing that, and then you will then begin to experience more cessation of dukkha. What you want is, when bad things happen, the mind restores balance very fast, right? The mind goes from flawed by anger, then boom, it's back. Okay, you want to do that. You want to not get easily ruffled, agitated. You want that. And that can only happen when that Four Noble Truths, 3 + 1, becomes so much a part of you that you cannot change that part. You cannot unlearn. You cannot change. If that happens, you know, right view, it's you. You have it. It's part of you. So in your daily life, regardless of how you get agitated, you will spring back to normal fast. Now, if you like, you can keep a stopwatch. Then you see how long it takes for you to calm down. For those of you who say, I take 1 day, bad. But last time I take years, that's really bad. Okay, so you time yourself. You time yourself. Over time, you will notice that not so many things upset you. You find that if something does upset you, you know straight away it's there. And somehow your mind will just, whatever, and settle it. Okay? The potato. Buddha said, if someone were to offer you a deal of being stabbed 300 times a day for 100 years, but guarantee result, you sure penetrate Noble Truth, he said, take it. You're going to be stabbed every day. Because when there is that breakthrough, I know the Buddha words very calm, like joy and happiness, like, okay, for that I cannot step 300 times a day, like, right? Not worth it. But the point here is that one moment of penetration is worth all the pain you go through. If that happens, that's what it means. It's not a literal stabbing. Remember panatipata? So you don't go around and stab people. Okay. But the idea really is, if being awakened to the Four Noble Truths requires that I experience pain in the process, let's do it. Because it will happen. The enlightenment, and then your mind will explode into joy. which is internal and unconditioned. The joy that you will get from this one realization, and it's split, it's little bits of it. It doesn't have to be one massive giant explosion like a tsunami. Boom. It doesn't have to. It can be pockets, 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 pockets and pockets of awakening and realization of what the noble truth means. Those pockets, every time it happens, there is joy. And that joy is so powerful that subsequently, when you are sad, then you remember, I understood. Other than the joy start again. A very good one. Self-generated. And power. That's actually what it means by this sentence. A breakthrough in an understanding of Four Noble Truths will be accompanied by joy and happiness. And once you understand, for many of you goes for retreat, right? In your retreat, everybody's so modest, right? But many of you go for retreats. In your retreats, there will be pockets when you experience cessation of dukkha and you know it, and that's joyous, right? Don't make me ask you again. Right? Okay. 5 aggregates of clinging. Oh, it's almost there. We're almost done. 5 aggregates of clinging. What is the noble truth of dukkha? It should be said. The 5 aggregates of clinging, form, subject to clinging, feeling, perception, all subject to clinging. That's the noble truth of craving, of dukkha. Okay. I'm not going to explain this sentence. I'm going to leave it to next week to go into more details. In the 6 sense spaces, same thing. Same thing. Therefore, 4 noble truths is what you experience from feeling, form, perception, consciousness, sankhara and consciousness, or 6 sense bases, either or. You don't have to, oh, I finished five aggregates, then I start 6 sense bases. No need. The 2 of them, the same. They are together. They are looking at 2 sides of the same coin. You either pay attention to the aggregates or you pay attention to the 6 sense bases. 2 sides of the same coin. You pick one. Okay? I love my koala. It's clinging, right? Okay, this is your last slide. 455. Okay, last slide. The Buddha said there are 3 types of dukkha. So he was brilliant. He could explain things from different angle. This is a slightly different angle of looking at dukkha. I don't need you to understand this. 4 noble truths, 5, 6, 1, 1, I need you to understand because you will apply in daily life. This one, I don't need you to understand yet. I need you to memorize. The 3 types. Dukkha, dukkhata. First one, pain, physical, real, experience here and now. Dukkha of dukkha. Second one, viparinama dukkhata, change. So example, born, aging, sickness, death. The experience sometimes painful because it's real. Sometimes you look at the mirror, you're not feeling any pain of the form, but you look at the mirror and say, oh, one more white hair. I think I better get rid of it so that it won't grow again. That's why sometimes we run out of hair. Change. But in your daily life, where do you find change? In relationship, changes. In people, in place. You know, sometimes you look at something and go, last time like that, bit of nostalgia, right? Change. sad. That's superficially understanding change. The last one is Shankara. Oh no, Shankara and change, last one. Yes, Shankara, spelled with an N with a dot there, okay? Formation, so construction. Construction, dukkha. Then you say, how does it work? Every time you think of something and you regret something or you miss something, your every moment is constructed by your mind. Every moment, your experience is constructed. And in this construction process, a lot of desire, pain, dukkha. Okay, the reason why I said I don't need you to understand is because I don't want to have to start another class now. Over the next few weeks, we will keep revisiting these three. And then you will begin to understand, okay? Okay, I think no need activity, very tired already. Your homework, this is not here, your homework. You go back, you reflect, you jot down on your little notebook, if you can. If you want to grow, you need to make a note for yourself. Don't need to show me. Please don't send to me. So just to be mark. What you think? PhD must mark. You want to, you can come in next week early and talk to your friends here and discuss. That's okay. But the idea here is, I'm going to let you all go. It's 5 o'clock. Just let you go. You want to spend time reflecting, recalling, applying today's class. Okay? Okay? Done. Sharing merits?